Hello, it's Lion here with Hobbies and Man. Once again, and today we're going to be doing another manga first impressions review. Today we're going to be looking at Blue Period, which looks like this. It's the first volume, and I have this digitally. I bought this in a kodansha sale on Bookwalker a long time ago, I think sometime early last year, or maybe halfway through the middle of the year, but it was one of my earliest digital purchases last year. And I didn't get around to it until now, and I actually really liked it. I thought it was cool. The author here is Tsubasa Yamaguchi. The publisher is Kodansha. The demographic is seinen, and the genres are drama, coming of age, and art or school life, or art and school life, depending on how you want to subdivide certain things. But the main genres are drama and coming of age. And it does have an adaptation. I think it's available on Netflix. I don't know if it's any good, but I do remember people talking about it. And I don't remember anyone saying anything particularly negative. But when it came out, it wasn't really a popular thing in the US. I think the popularity of the manga kind of started picking up a little bit after that. So I don't think that many people watched the anime when it came out. So it might be kind of my understanding of people's feelings of that series might not be correct, right? So yeah, and basically the premise of this story is that we follow this guy, and honestly I can't remember his name. I don't think it really matters all that much, but he's this high schooler. He is someone that has this kind of like just going through life, doing his best to kind of fit in mentality. However, this mentality and this kind of way of going about life does not actually let him have any true feelings, any real kind of like passion or decisions on anything. And I think this is kind of a very like Japanese kind of thing. I don't necessarily think it's not applicable to everyone, and I think actually it is applicable to most people, especially high schoolers that are not really sure what they want to do with life, right? But I think the way that the phrasing and the setting of the story does feel very Japanese, and like it has very like this is specifically talking to the youth of Japan kind of feel to it. But I could be wrong. It's just kind of like how I'm interpreting it, right? So he's this guy. He's actually very studious. He's the fourth in this class. However, he's actually a delinquent kind of personality, which in the US would just be like a normal kid. But, you know, in Japan with their like super like stratified like cultural society, it's just really like he comes off as this sort of like delinquent character. And, you know, he drinks underage, and he hangs out with all the weirdos in his class and stuff like that. And so he's kind of very different. However, somehow, one day, he ends up interacting with some people in the art club, and he sees this beautiful painting, this beautiful oil painting, and he's curious about it. And he was given an assignment in his art class, which he took because it was an easy grade. And the assignment is paint your favorite scene. He doesn't really know what to paint because he doesn't have a favorite scene until one day when he's hanging out with his buddies. They're walking around their kind of hometown early in the morning, and they see the sunrise, and our main character realizes that there's this beautiful like scenery in front of him. There's this beautiful feeling that he hadn't really realized before, and he sees that the place is all blue. And so he paints a blue scene for his assignment. People like his painting, and they give him praise. And this is kind of the first time that he's ever received praise for something that he found meaningful, or something that he was personally interested in doing, instead of just something that he knew he had to do. And so he kind of, you know, lights like a fire in him. It like gives him an idea about what he wants to do. And so he changes his whole mentality about stuff, and he focuses on art, and he decides that he wants to go to an art university. And so we see him struggling with this newfound passion that he has, with this kind of idea that he wants to pursue this. And we see his rapid development over a 6-month period. And then there seems like there's this building to a confrontation with his parents, but also he doesn't want to tell them. And we also see that his mom finds out about it beforehand, and she is happy to help him. But it's kind of interesting that there's no actual resolution of that yet. And it's going to be a little bit anticlimactic when it happens, but I think it's really interesting, and it's going to be kind of exciting regardless. So I read this a few days ago, and I actually took a long time to read this. Usually a manga volume only takes me about 30 minutes. I think I took about an hour 15 with this one, mostly because I had a lot of text, but also because I think it was just really interesting, and it kind of had this like feeling of like it spoke to me in a way, but not really like I don't feel like this character feels, right? I'm very happy with what I'm doing in life, and I'm very passionate about what I'm doing in life. I have a good kind of feeling about what I'm doing in life, even if it is mostly just because I know that I have to do it, but I also find it interesting and satisfying to do, right? Which is different from this character. But I think it's just something that really resonates with young people, and something that, you know, if you're in high school, like the character, and you're kind of just going through the motions and don't really know what to do with your life, it really can speak to you. And it kind of spoke to me, as in like it spoke to me when I was younger, and now I'm kind of seeing something that kind of explores those feelings properly, instead of the usual like American high school student kind of show where it's just like, you know, it doesn't really go anywhere, but it just kind of like acts like it's looking into those kind of feelings and stuff. This kind of felt a little bit more realistic and more personal and more like legit about what it was trying to convey and say about, you know, young teenagers and their like condition as they're going through life, right? And I thought that was really, really good. I really enjoyed it. I'm not necessarily sure I'll read more of it, because it ended in such a way that I wasn't really feeling like I needed to read more. But I did find this first volume to be very meaningful and very cool, and I liked it. So that is what it is. It did speak to me, and it did give me this kind of like sensation of like, oh, I feel like finally someone understands, you know, what I felt like when I was younger. But not so much that it made me want to continue reading it. I think since I'm over that kind of feeling, I don't find it to be that compelling anymore. But I think that if I was 5 years younger, I would like, if I was still going through my high school situation, I would have definitely continued to read this for sure. So yeah. Also, the artwork is kind of odd. You would think that a series about art would have the most beautiful, stunning artwork. But I think that part of the ethos of the story, part of the stuff that it's trying to tell you, is that it's not just about technically good art. It's about art that makes you feel something, and it has this passion behind it, right? And I definitely feel that while reading this. And so even though the art style is kind of wonky pretty often, actually most of the time, I still found it interesting and beautiful and compelling to look at, even if it's not necessarily the most technically gorgeous or more technically well-made art piece, right? Or well-structured like stuff, like the lining of the characters and the anatomy of the characters isn't necessarily always correct, but it still kind of lends itself to give you that kind of feeling that it's trying to convey. And I think that was very well done. So yeah, that's it for Blue Period. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like, subscribe, and comment down below. Let me know what you thought. And thank you guys very much for watching. See you guys later.